Let me talk to the nation right quick before we get back into this. Mama told me to hold on for 1 second. And she said that this message need to go forth. And the ones that they call Negro, Black, Color, African American need to stand still and listen. Remember where you came from. When you read in the Bible, the first mind, the first man, men in Latin means mind. The first mind was formed in the physical form in the center of the garden. If you look at your map, you see North America, South America, you see Central America, you see Hawaii, and you see Africa. Africa is the east, America is the west. How is America the west when you can go further west and see Hawaii? If America was the west, there would be nothing beyond it. But the fact that you can go further west and find Hawaii, America is not the west. North America is the north, South America is the south, and Central America is the center. This is why they don't want you to know this, but it's truth hidden in plain sight. They're keeping up with the map while you're lost. Central America is the center of the garden where the first physical mind was planted. It's in the Bible, hidden in plain sight. Planted in the center of the garden. This is the work of Shakespeare. That's Shakespeare's language. I don't care what nobody tell you. I studied Shakespeare in school, and that's Shakespeare work. King James had Shakespeare write the first Bible in America. Let's say his version. Let's say it like that. King James had William and Shakespeare. That's how cold they was. They made us think that it was one man, William Shakespeare. But William is the director, Shakespeare is the writers. They was a group of Moors. And they wrote the Bible. That's why it was art then thou, but we could understand it. They couldn't. The Englishman, he could not understand it, or the queen, she could not understand it. But she trusted in King James that he would give us the English Geneva Bible. But the fact that he gave us another version, his version, King James 16:11, is what holds the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, to tell you that wisdom is mama, because they tell you there's no mother God. But that right there is going to condemn. Don't throw your Bibles away. I'm going to use it to condemn this government. He was talking about the 1611 Bibles. He wasn't talking about none of these new Bibles right here. He was talking about the 1611 because that's where the secrets is. That's where the Latin is. If you go to it, it's not J-E-S-U-S. It's I-E-S-U-S. They wanted him to add the J. Remember, the English letters are Latin letters. It's 25 of them. 2 plus 5 is 7. They added the J, which makes it 26. The way they add the J was they put a fish hook at the bottom of the I. The I in Latin is ego. Ego means myself. Myself is the mind. So they put a fish hook on your mind. Hence why it says, follow me, I'll teach you to be fishers of men. Men in Latin is mind. Follow me, I'll teach you to be fishers of mind. It's going over your head because you don't know the language. You going in the dictionary, going for English definitions instead of going to Latin and finding the true definition. Let us go down and confuse their tongue, Genesis chapter 11. They confused ancient Lati, which is the language that the one they call the black woman gave to her first son, only begotten son, the firstborn child, the one they call the black man. You're the secret. That's why they put you in the movies and musics and things of that nature, and you can dominate. And then your mother can do great. the same, even greater. And this is why they oppress her. That's the secret. You're the secret. You're the one. You wait a minute. You think that your oppressor is going to tell you the truth about where you came from. You was taken from Africa and brought over here. You was taken from Africa and brought over here and put into slavery. Here's the question. Where's your tribe? Why haven't your tribe came and got you? Here's another question. How did they get on the boats and get across the water without a fight? They would have sunk that boat. Before my people go into your hands, they'll go down fighting. That's the call of the ancestors. That was a lie. You think the oppressor gonna tell you the truth? Oh, you came from Africa, because he don't want you to know you from here. He don't want you to know that he's occupying your land, your imperium. But before you can get it back, you have to recognize who it was in the first place. It's the one that they call the black woman. This is her land. This is her imperium. And her sons inherited the South. That's why if you look at the map, North America is the mother, the umbilical cord is Central America, and it connects to her son, which is South America. The umbilical cord is central, and the first mind, they say man, was planted in the center of the garden. Man in Latin, men, is mind. The first mind was planted or formed in physical form in the center of the garden, Central America. North America is at the top, South America at the bottom. Hawaii is on the west. America's not the west. Hawaii is the west because it's further west from, if America was the west, it wouldn't be nothing beyond it. The fact that there's something beyond it, which is Hawaii, Hawaii is the west. That puts the Central America in the center. Truth in plain sight. The first physical form was here in the center of the garden. That's the one that they call the black woman. She went to the north. Is where she held the gold when she had her only begotten son, which is why they call it the greatest story ever told, because it was all women here first. Remember, every time ones got cast out of the garden, they went east of Eden. They went east of Eden. So if you go east from Central America, you're going to hit the Atlantis. But the Atlantis had a flood, Noah's Ark. I'm going to say it again. The Atlantis sunk and went under. It had a flood, Noah's Ark, and they sailed further east. They couldn't go back to the garden. They was cast out of the garden, so they had to go further east. They went further east and came into what? Africa, Asia, and Europe, which was Asia and Europa. Those was the mothers. Asia and Europa. And this is where it gets interesting. Because if you was taken from Africa, why haven't your tribe came for you? If you was taken from Africa, why wasn't there a fight? How you have to go through Africa in order to hit the waters, to sail sea to come to the Americas. They would have stopped you right there. You wouldn't have got through. And then, here's the kicker. When you go back to Africa, where's your tribe to greet you? No one say you from here or from there. You from Africa. But people can tell you exactly where they're from when they go back over there. How come you can't? Oh, but we got Africa. Of course you do. because once they took the motherland, they opened the land for the ones that was cast east to come back over here. And these are the male childs. These aren't the women doing this. The women was conquered over there first. They're just now conquering this in 1776. All this was women. This is why they built the Statue of Liberty. Before it was the Statue of Liberty, it was the statue of the one that they call the black woman, the first mama. Her statue, disrespectful. They took it and reconstructed it. Disrespectfully. But check this. If you was from there, and you was put into slavery over here in the South, how was you free in the North? How was you educated? You see what I'm saying? How was you in the seats? You don't become captive into being in the seats. Come on, think about it. This was your stuff. This was your stuff. John Hancock was your brother, and he sold you out when he signed the Declaration of Independence, which is why his signature is the biggest signature. He sold you out in 1774. We didn't agree with it, so a war broke out the very next year, 1775. We used their weapons instead of using the science, the four elements: tornado, fire, earthquake, hurricane, typhoon. Instead of using the elements, we used their weapons, which is why we lost the war the very next year, 1776. 1774, he signed it. We didn't agree, so a war broke out. The Revolutionary War. The revolution won't be televised. Why are we always screaming that? Because we remember where we said it first. When you're doing us unjustly, all of a sudden it becomes a revolution. But you become revolutionized with the science, not with the weapons. These are weapons of mass destruction. And this is why you lost it the very next year after the Revolutionary War, 1776. This is why they praise 1776, because this is when they conquered you in the North. But you wasn't fully conquered, so they had to start the Civil War, which is where they put the captives of the slaves. Well, I said the captives of the slaves. The captives, they weren't slaves, they was captives because they was captured on their own land. They put the captives on the Confederate to be the soldiers. So the ones they call the slaves, the black men, they made them the soldiers. And they said, if you fight for us, you will be free. This is what the proclamation was written up to say that stuff. It was a trick to make slavery legal, because they knew that slavery was illegal and it was treason, because they was on our land, whether we knew it or not. It was treason. But before they got caught up, they set up something to make it legal. Slavery is abolished except for punishment. The 13th Amendment made it legal. You ain't catching it. And the slaves from the one they call the slaves, the captives, the black brothers, the one they call the black man. I'm just using that so you understand who I'm talking about. The one they call the black man, he was told that if you fight for us, you got to kill them all. And he was fighting the free brothers in the North. Go watch the movie Glory. All the brothers in the North died. It was a plan. The black on black crime. The brothers in the North versus the brothers in the South. That's their master plan. They can't destroy you because the brothers from the South was wiping them out. The French, the Dutch, the Englishmen, whoever they threw at us, we was wiping them out. The French in this war, the French and Indian war, no, that was us. The Indian indigenous, that was us fighting. Once again, using weapons and not the science. It's time to stop killing each other and start loving yourself and loving each other. And then you'll see the elements go into your favor.